Hello. Yes, it's Unity again. Okay. I had some time com- to to collect my thoughts and figure out what it was I was hating so much about these weird little things that feel like hacks. Like every single one of them feels like hacks. Also, I did figure out what was going on with sticking into the ground, sort of. The key piece of code that was, I'm not going to say causing it, but allowing us to see the problem was our acceleration function. We had a function set up such that on player movement that was making it so that we weren't just setting our speed to whichever direction we were going. We were kind of softening it a bit with like okay, we're gonna approach that speed. We're gonna add our acceleration and everything. And the reason that was a problem... Oh, it's doing the thing again. Well, what was happening was, and this is still happening, this happens in a brand new project. If you just do the basic, like, here's how you do movement, it tells you, like, okay, yeah, you can jump and then land and then move around. It says, okay, you should just set your velocity equal to the axis value. But you are still embedding yourself in the ground when you do that. It's just you don't notice because you're immediately setting your velocity to its normal, like, full speed value. When you have this, like, acceleration function, it reveals that landing on the ground at an angle, like, you kind of stop when you land. And normally you just don't notice that because we're immediately, like, overriding that value with full speed movement. So I just took out the acceleration code.
Oh look, it's Dobbs.
Yeah,
You know,
look.
the other day, I saw a bunch flies buzzing around a carnival. Can you believe it? They were on the roller coasters and the Ferris wheel and the bumper cars.
Incredible.
Everywhere. Basically what I'm saying is, it was an adventure fly land.
Brilliant. You're gonna go straight into the shtick with a new category, and you're gonna run out in like 8 streams. Not saying that's how long we're doing this. Speaking of, when does Mario Wonder come out? October 20th. What is that? That's a Friday. That will be a stream day. That is the weekend after GDB. Oh man, GDB is next weekend. Like, not this coming weekend, but the next weekend, right? Am I off on that? GDB 2023, yeah, October 14th, October 15th. Ooh, that's really soon, considering that I have not yet had a full end-to-end playthrough of Dabble Party. That really sneaks up on you. I got some patches to... I tried testing it with Hovercat the other day, and it's like, all right, we do the first minigame, it works. We do another round of gameplay, dice rolling. Second minigame boots up, and it just doesn't start. And we're like, uh-oh. Gonna have to fix that. What character should she play? Donkey Kong, of course. Alright, we're gonna redo a bunch of stuff. Alright, in fact, I've got a document up of here are my problems. Okay, check if grounded. This little fun little nugget here. The idea with all the tutorials is they say, don't do a raycast. What you should do is you should have a sub object. You should make a little sphere, a little tiny baby sphere. It's like super small, VV small. Oh, is that how that works? Oh, it's because it's stretched. Yeah. Well, whatever. You should make a little tiny baby sphere, and you should put that at the bottom of your character. like just embed it right in the foot. This little egg. I don't know why he's an egg. Don't worry about it. He's an egg. There, now it's less egg. Okay, and the idea is that instead of checking if there's ground below the player, you instead check, hey, does this egg overlap a ground collider? And that's how you tell if you're on the ground. And what always bugs me about that is like, okay, that means every time I want to add logic to check if something is grounded, I have to go in and like add this egg and like position it and calculate it. And then, oh, what if I want to resize the character? And now it's like, oh, well, you got to make sure you update your egg position to match. It's like that. In software development, that is called a code smell. It's like you notice that not specifically. Usually there's a few specific things where you see like, if you're using this, you're probably doing something wrong. But the general concept of code smell is like something that in of itself is okay, but is probably indicative of an overarching problem with how you have approached the actual issue at hand. Frying pan into a drying pan. So right here, all this mess that's difficult to maintain. That's really my main issue with this. It's like, if I didn't have to manually add this sphere to everything and make sure everything's got to have that little egg, then maybe I wouldn't hate it as much. Instead, I would just consider it like, oh, that's just a visualization of the hit box of where we're checking for ground terrain. It's okay to have visualizations of that kind of stuff. Sure, I'm down with that. What I don't like is having to set that up myself. And then that's the stroke of an idea there. If that's my problem, is just having to manually set that myself, why don't I have my script that can do movement stuff, like check if I'm on the ground? Why don't I just have that script create the egg? Now we're getting somewhere. So I think my full plan for redoing the whole grounding check is let's take the egg approach, but let's automate adding the egg so that the script does it for us. And if possible, I'd like to call to the stand. I'd like to call that isGrounded function from other scripts. And so I can just have a script that will generate the egg and then allow me to check if something is grounded. Just make the whole game out of eggs. I mean, Adventure Island, I guess, was onto something. Okay, so what we're gonna need to do, there's a Unity annotation that's like require component. There we go. Require component attribute automatically adds required components as dependencies. Perfect. All right, so here's the plan. We're going to create a function that will give us that isGrounded thing. And then our player movement is going to do a few things. It is going to add that isGrounded check magically, and that will also allow us to add isGrounded to other things. In fact, we could extend that so that it gives us like a left foot, right foot thing for our snails, so we can automate checking like, hey, are we touching the edge of the ground here? All right. So very first thing we're gonna add is our egg script. We're gonna call this I guess ground checker. Sure, groundchecker.cs. All right, and before I can do it, and I did go in and find out like why it keeps double adding the scripts when I try to drag them onto a game object. That was fixed in an update, so I just updated. We're gonna hope that actually does the trick. Second thing that's bugging me every time I want IntelliSense, like right now it doesn't know what a monobehavior is, even though that's built into Unity. It doesn't know what a box collider is anymore. To fix that, I have to keep going to preferences, change this to Visual Studio, and then hit regenerate project files. I have to do that every time that I load up Unity. And I don't think I should have to do that. And then I have to close Visual Studio and... Yep, I'll throw Snakey down. Alright. Here comes Snakey. You're welcome. Alright. Snakey. It's that time of the night where Snakey has to be thrown down the stairs. Alright, ground checker. So this thing, I need this to create a child object. Actually, it's going to create 3 child objects. Okay. Alright. So we are going to make a sphere. So I should probably have this as a private variable. Center bottom. Is sphere not a thing? Nope. Sphere collider, is that what I want? What is this? Okay, yes, I want a sphere collider. I admittedly do in fact want a sphere collider. Alright, and then what we're gonna do is generate that egg. We're gonna make our egg. Oh, that's it. That's all we need there. We need to define we need to define that it is a trigger. We need to define that the radius is very small. Maybe that small is small enough. I don't know. That's probably good. If it's big, then that creates this like ability where the player can jump before they actually hit the ground, because all we're checking is that radius. What if it lands on a corner? Ah, excellent point. We need to be looking at left and right for jumping logic. So center bottom is probably not what we want. We probably want left and right. Do we want center then? Like, could you... Yeah, because what if you had just a very slim bit of ground? This is one of those things where you just have to say, like, all right, in this game, this is a level design requirement, is that you cannot have any platforms that are thinner than the player. Which maybe that's a big assumption. I don't know. Wait, hang on. Here's another question. Unity is blocked by collider. Maybe? Check if. Check if a specific collider is colliding. Maybe. I don't know. I was thinking like maybe there's just a check to see like, hey, am I being blocked from the bottom by the physics engine? Because that would be a nice way to check. Like, am I on the ground? There you go. We did it. Ooh. Okay, we gotta be here's something that we gotta be careful with. Let's bring up paint. Our old standby. So this is our player. So we do not want to add our colliders like right here and here, because that creates the scenario where the player would be, like, this would count as overlapping ground. So we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we are doing something along the lines of this. Those are going to be our points that we're checking. Because that way, all right, we can't jump here, can't jump here. You can jump here. You can jump here. That's all good, that's all good. And then you can't jump. And then you can't jump if you're above the ground. That's the goal. Ooh, a plumber. Ugh. You just never know what's gonna happen. You know what? Maybe we should use a box collider. Gosh, I hope so. I hope he BLJs right into your place. Clips through the front door. Alright. 0 stars, 0 keys. He just shows up with a rabbit. You're like, what's that for? Like, you'll see, you'll see. Yeah, let's replace this with just a box collider. Oh wait, no, I do want to have left and right, because I'm gonna be wanting to check for if I'm walking off an edge. Ooh, yeah, that's no good. In our old place, the only reason we knew about it was because Hovercat just smelled it one day, and I have a terrible sense of smell. But our water heater was leaking, and in that house, it was located like dead center of the floor plan. Are these actual video games? No, they're not. Hello? Oh. Nice sleep mask. Alright. Alright, that was dumb. Out of 27. And there's no way I'm getting all of those, of course. I think that last I checked, only about 40 people have managed to... Okay. Oh! Oh! Whoa! Oh! Okay. Only about 40... Alright. Next time. Next time, I might not bounce off a fish. Oh, almost bounced off a fish. Don't do anything, don't do anything, don't do anything. Oh, I was not sure about that. I was not sure about that lava level. But also the clock. Super spicy. Alright, let him go down. Might be a little bit too low. Alright, that's looks good. I'm just gonna keep going right. There it is.
It's on fire back.
All right, everybody.
I'll put it out.
Sun is setting.
Get the fire though.
There's nothing
Because
in
I
there.
need to know who's out for blood.
Should I leave these animals here and
I
then
lit it
come
on
back
fire.
for them in batches?
No, just throw them in.
Okay.
All right,
I'm gonna go through.
go through, Day. Give us a test here. Make. Oh, dang!
Oh,
This is just...
It's fun.
It is. This is too much fun.
Hey, what level are you at? Experience-wise.
I don't know. How do I know?
Oh, like it's down in the bottom, above your inventory.
I don't have any.
Oh, okay. Just
I
checking.
recently died.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Ah! Did you move the water?
Uh.
Oh. Oh.
I mean.
Oh.
Look, Turtle. There's no way I come out of this looking like the good guy.
Did you put it back?
Yes.
I need to come down and get.
All right. Programming. The reason we want to have a left and a right check is because we want to be able to piggyback off of this to determine if, like, if an enemy is hitting the left or right. Pro gaming, but not a real video game. Yeah, I decided I calmed down. I took a moment. I reflected on what it was that was making me so salty about this setup. Apparently he's sick. He might have a frog in his throat. But little Toadette sang him a song. It was very sweet. It's funny stuff. Funny guy. Okay. To set something as a child object. Transform.parent. Okay, so I have to set left bottom dot transform dot parent equal to game object. No, equal to this dot game object. No? Parent is a transform, so I just say transform. Cool. Okay, this is ugly. Can you see why? It's because we're doing the same thing twice. That's not good form. That was my joke that I made. I mean, you kind of sound froggy in your throat. So, can we get away with? Oh no! What you'd have to do is you'd have to do new. Wait, can't you do just an array of new? List of colliders from left bottom, right bottom, and then you say dot for each collider. There you go. So this might be a little bit more verbose with this extra code, but what it's going to do is it's going to say, make sure we're doing the same thing on each of these sphere colliders. Oh, wait. Oh, Never mind. I don't think this would work. Would this work? No, because that's not the same instance, is it? Dang it, I'm thinking too JavaScripty. All right, scrap it, whatever. We're gonna leave it. I already made that joke. Hello, Hudson. I completely missed that until I just moved to the internet. Oh. The Cheater's Lament. Let's see. Cozy Camper was a good guess. Yeah. Yeah, I get you. Dupu, by the way, since I haven't already mentioned it, except in emote spam in your chat, congratulations. Huge accomplishment. For those that aren't in the know, Dupu's been slogging his way through Celeste custom maps and finally finished the that would be the expert heart side. Yeah, that was ooh. Yeah, quite. I mean, Grandmaster's next. You don't have to. You don't have to. I mean, you're probably expected to. You've gotten quite a bit of a Celeste crowd now, of people that are there for Celeste, and you're just gonna have to live with that. Okay, so we don't actually have to update at all. What we're gonna do is create a function is grounded. Oh, we have to actually set the, oh yeah. We have to figure out where to put these. The position of these. Eating gummy sharks. Kind of a party. Yeah. Just play Cat Island over and over again. Just refuse to elaborate. Okay, so the issue I was having as I started to talk, I did some reflection, not like C# reflection, even though I love that. The issue I kept having with the solution of, oh, you gotta have a tiny little egg under your player sprite, and you have to check to see if that egg touches the ground. It's like, I'm okay with the idea of, you know, basically having a physical representation of the area we're checking.
Is there really a such thing as throwaway learning? I submit that there is
Mantis, good to see you. Welcome in. Pull up a chair, squeeze on in, and listen to me moan and soapbox about Unity. 26 months. Impressive. Impressive. Most impressive. The egg, as we're calling it here. So this is supposed to be you embed this in your player's feet, and then you check that for ground. And there's multiple problems I have with that. One, perhaps the main one, is I have to make sure that if I'm adding this grounded check, I have to make sure that I add this element and that it's properly positioned and all this stuff. I don't want to have to do all that work, even though it's just a few seconds per object that I'm doing grounding checks. Egg. And then I had an epiphany. Why don't I just get code to do that? That's the part I like. It's like, I'm okay with doing checks of like, is there ground in this location when I'm doing it in JavaScript. The piece I don't like is having to like, okay, we got to create an object, drag it here, reference that in the script, position it properly. I can get code that will do that for me. All I got to do is somehow figure out where the bottom of an object is. That's basically our problem here. Because it's not, sometimes it's a box collider, sometimes it's a sphere collider, but either way, it's just some kind of collider. So let's see here. This guy has a box collider, this guy has a sphere collider, which means he doesn't have a size, he has a radius. Let's see, Unity get edge of collider. Is there generic collider? Can I... of collider. I guess colliders can get pretty fancy. Find the edge of the collider. I know, right? I know, right? Because no, it just can't do that. Part of the problem is, like, we can... Alright, so we can tell when we are... I'm pretty sure we can tell when we are colliding with the ground. Here, does this run right now? Warning the field acceleration. Oh, that's fine. Okay, yeah, we're gonna delete that. I know, right? So like right now, am I currently colliding with the ground? Because, oh. Don't worry about that. We'll fix it later. Get out of there. Yeah, I think I turned off the semi-solid stuff, right? Or broke it in a few different ways. Yeah. And I think what it comes down to is that Unity is not a game engine. It's a physics engine that you can make games in. But if you're going to do that, you're going to have to jump through some extra hoops. And so that's what we've got ahead of us, is a lot of hoops to learn. So, all right. Is that a possibility of just check? You know what? I probably still want to do the eggs. Yeah, I think I still want to do the eggs. Reason being is because it gives me the left to right check that I can do with for snail movement on Snail Mountain. Specifically, I want to use that to determine, like, hey, if my left foot is off the ledge but my right foot is not, then I should turn around and go to the right, and then vice versa. So let's do private float check radius. This will just have us have a nice neat little value here. Okay, so the position on this, I guess let's use the bounds of the transform itself. Left bottom dot transform dot position dot x. No, I can't do dot x. I have to do equals vector new vector 3. I have to tell it where to position it. I'm gonna take my parent object, which is just transform. I can use the parent's transform. I want to take its scale and use that to determine how far out I need to go. Local scale dot x. So that's going to be 0.5, which means I need to do that divided by 2 plus our check radius divided by 2 for our x position. Actually, all this needs to be negative. So let's do this. There. Okay. That's our x value. Y value is negative transform.localScale.y divided by 2 minus a further check radius. Maybe even 2 check radii. And then z is 0. Don't worry about z. Okay. And then right bottom transform does the same thing except without the negative on the x value. Okay, there we go. Ugh. Okay, so that should position those correctly, and we'll be able to check that pretty easily, I hope. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm worried that the collider issue is going to be a little bit weird because the hitbox could be more complex than just a box, or it could be a sphere. There's all kinds of things that could go wrong here. Doesn't matter. The point is that when we want to check if the parent object is grounded, we can now use these spheres to check just if... Huh. They don't even need to be sphere colliders, do they? They can just be game objects, and we can just do a physics sphere check. So let's do that. Let's make these just empty game objects. And instead of making them triggers or having radii, they're just gonna have a position. Specifically it was a red Gyarados though. All right. Is grounded is if, well, let's start with the actual check here. Physics dot sphere, check sphere. We're checking the position of left bottom in a check radius. Left bottom dot position. No, dot transform dot position. There we go. And that should just return yes if there is any collider. Any collider? That might mean we would be able to jump off of collectibles. Just saying. Let's leave it for now. And let's just look at the left one for now, because we're just to do right bottom. Okay, so that's our ground checker, but we actually need to be able to call our ground checker. And so for that, we want to be able to, let's see, use our player movement script here. And we're gonna add something a little bit different here. We're gonna add, okay, this is require component, ground checker. So this require component does not contain a constructor that, oh, I need to actually, okay, so I have to give it the type. Oh, and do I just put that on the, oh, I bet I just put that on the class itself, right? No. Okay, how do I use require component? I had it, I was close. Require component, type of ground checker. And I can just put that on that. And what that will do is ensure that a ground checker gets automatically added to anything that gets this script. So that I can now see this feels like I'm having to like do this. I feel like that requirement should be on the property somehow, because then I could like automatically have it tied in, but whatever. Oh wait. Ground checker. And then I should be able to do in the start ground checker equals get component ground checker. Cool. And now in my ground is on ground, we should be able to do return ground checker dot is grounded. No, that doesn't exist. You sure? Protection level. Okay. Make this public so we can actually access it from other classes. And that should be it for our ground check. All right, so the hope is that because player object has, okay, we're getting rid of this egg. Because player object has has player movement, it should automatically get a ground checker. So let's try adding player movement script again. Bop. It added a ground checker automatically. Good. It also added player movement a second time. I can't help but notice. I thought that was patched, but I guess not. Whatever. Okay, but good news is ground checker got automatically added. And so now when I play, I hope we're not going to get any immediate bugs. Well, I mean, it doesn't jump, but that's okay. The thing I want to check is, where are these? They are down here, huh? Cool. Why are they there? Don't know. Huh. Well, they are following. Is it because, I don't know, the starting position of this was weird or something? Hang on, restart here. What's my starting position? Let's set my starting position to 2. 2 exactly. No, even better yet, 0. All right, then play it, and then tell me where these cubes show up. This one -5-1. This one +5-1. Okay, that is expected. Mostly, yeah, that's good. 0.6, -1.2. Did we go too far down? Is that what happened? Huh. Because I would expect these to be like right below the player. Huh. Because right now I can't jump. Doesn't work. But they're positioned left and right correctly, unless, for instance, let's say we start X at 3, and now start this up. Where do these get positioned now? So this is me just learning about transforms. Now it's got positioned at X -6.51. What did I do wrong there?
Hi.
Hello. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Doing all right. Jumping off collectibles sounds like a fun way to reach secrets. I mean, yes. We're gonna hope that we don't have to end up doing that. Monday, am I right?
So right.
Whew.
It's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just bored. Starved for adult interaction.
Yeah. There's no other scale value, so that's not it.
Heard talking about the water heater at the old house.
Oh yeah.
It's coming up.
Al's got a plumber coming over.
Tonight?
No.
Okay, I was like, that's weird.
That would be, it's one of those late night plumber situations.
Is it Mario?
It's Mario. That was the joke actually
that
that we immediately leaned into.
Oh, I hope it's no big thing.
Wah 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 wah.
Yeah. Honestly, the water heater situation was not the worst plumber issue that we had at that house.
That's a good point. Yeah, we had some issues. A leak under the floor somewhere.
Somewhere. Could be anywhere.
Yeah, that's always a fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, good. We had a.
Well, that's good. It's not a lot.
We had a tree root snake its way into one of our pipes in our front yard. You can tell from the wet carpet about where it is. Well, yeah.
That's good. I guess. Maybe wet carpet's not great. tree root situation was bad. It was like, I don't remember how much it was to fix it, but they had to dig up our front yard and put a new pipe in. Started very suddenly. It'd get worse fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can see that being a concern.
Best to get it taken care of.
Mm-hmm. It's not like on a slab situation, is it? Oh, like, is it like, is your ground, like, is the floor that it is seeping up through like a concrete slab where they might have to cut it up in order to get to the pipe? Or is it just like
Yeah, we'll hope not.
crawl space? Do you own the house? Because if you don't own it, not a huge deal for you. Oh, okay. Then
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't really
I mean,
matter how
it's-
expensive it is.
It's inconvenient.
Yeah, inconvenient for sure. Could be annoying to deal with if like the landlord isn't great about it.
It's in your bedroom.
Oh,
Yeah, that
yeah.
does suck.
That's not great. Yeah, and definitely have to be careful about like mold and mildew situation too,
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, that's not fun to deal with. And yeah, you don't want all your stuff to get wet either.
Yeah. Alright. Trashing this.
And our worst plumber situation resulted in sewage water on my feet
Not a good
in
time
the
for
shower.
anybody.
I don't think that my feet are clean even today.
To this very day.
To this very day. This happened like 5 years ago. Yeah, it was disgusting. It was bad. It was real bad.
Real bad.
I'm not over it. I'll never be over it.
You.
Yeah, I don't think that could happen in our house now. Because we're not on a slab.
Yeah, we actually have a crawl space, which
Yeah.
I've never even seen. I'm glad not to ever
I've
see
seen
it.
pictures. Yeah.
There's that bug. So that means there's a third one downstairs.
Man, we're like overrun. I killed a spider tonight while we were doing our chat time downstairs. And then she was like, "Can I release him outside?" And I was like, "Uh-huh."
Yeah.
And I just handed her the toilet paper with the squish spider on it. She did not notice. She
Throw
just
him out
walked it
there.
over. And then it wouldn't come off the toilet paper.
Oh no.
And so I had to like brush it off. She didn't notice
Well,
still.
that's good.
Yeah, being somewhat overrun by bugs right now. Not in your code though, I'm sure.
Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Ah, that's why. So stink bugs. We didn't used to have those.
What do you mean?
Like, those are a fairly recent invasive species.
Oh, really?
I think so.
You know what little Toadette told me tonight?
What did she
I
tell
was
me?
talking to her about landfills, as
Yeah.
you do.
I've talked to her about that.
And she was like, "Daddy knows more about landfills than you do." And I was like offended. I wanted to like defend myself and be like, "He does not.
He does not.
I know
have a
so
de-
much
I have a
about
de-
landfills."
I have a degree.
Yeah, but I didn't. I just let it go. Oh, really? Oh, that's good.
I think this is working. Yeah, we're jumping off of things.
Here we go.
This is a little weird. Like, we can jump significantly higher. we're sliding through a semi-solid. No way.
No way he knows more. He does not.
Does not.
It's like stop the entire bedtime routine and just be like, no, he doesn't. Let me tell you everything I know about landfills right now.
Right.
And then he can tell you everything he knows about landfills.
Yeah.
And we'll just see who
We'll
knows
see.
more.
We'll
Honestly,
see.
that'd be her dream. She'd be like, wait, I get to wait to go to bed for like an hour.
I love it.
Mom and Dad just talked to me about landfills.
I love talking about landfills. Oh, boy. Write it down. Write that one down.
I'm gonna write it down so someday when she's older and really understands, I can explain to her how much more I know about landfills than you do.
A lot. A lot. 7. Let's give a jump force of 7. There we go. Now we can get up there in one jump. Yeah, this is still weird that we slide through, and that's... We think we know what's going on there. That's the semi-solid magic here. Weird velocity change. Because we're setting it to the old velocity. Can we simulate perform gravity? Physics.gravity. Hold on, here we go. So, old velocity. Okay, what is physics.gravity?
Would you like a Halloween cookie?
I don't want the icing as much.
Yeah,
Like I would
she
want
was
like
very
a
insistent.
corner.
They all needed to be decorated very fully.
Vector 3.
Yeah, I think the Halloween cookies wanted to dress up as Christmas cookies for Halloween, you see.
Makes sense.
So that's what happened.
Don't know how this works. I don't know what this value of gravity is going to be. We're going to find out. I was thinking of breaking out one of those little crackers and cheese packs today,
Oh yeah.
this afternoon for a snack.
A little peckish.
Yeah, I think it's the stress eating.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So it's weird when if I'm heading down, a little crackers and cheese
No,
as a
crackers
treat.
As a treat. He used to buy cheese for himself when he was a bachelor.
Yeah, just a
When
block
he really
of cheddar.
wanted to splurge.
When I was in
and treat
college,
himself.
you can redeem the bike. There you go. I've already biked for 25 minutes today,
Oh man.
and that was across 2 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Thanks. Feeling pretty proud of myself for that.
You have quads of steel.
Oh yeah, my quads.
Quads.
My quads.
For some reason, I just thought you were gonna Google quads of steel.
Quads of steel.
You
You
did
biked
that.
0. Well, there you
There
go.
was no biking today. I didn't bike today either. I did do a workout though.
Okay, add force. Here we go. Okay. Nope.
I tried to do a workout with little Toadette today. We got through the warm up and she just laid down. I was like, I think I'm done. It's like, okay. I'll do it later.
I think I'm done.
She's a mood, as the kids say. kids say that. I don't think the kids say that.
Oh, surely.
I think the millennials say that. Maybe they don't even say that anymore. I don't know.
I just don't know. I don't know what the kids are saying. Wait. No, I don't know what the kids are saying.
Oh, yeah. Kids are saying you know more about landfills than I do.
That's what the kids are saying.
Which is just a lie.
Oh, hang on. I think we got gravity just about figured out here.
A little chungus. What does that mean?
I think that's it. I think we did it. Nice.
What does that mean?
It's kind of like a big chungus, but smaller.
What's a chungus?
Oh, Spud. You just aren't hip with what the kids are saying these days. You're not among us, as the kids would say.
It's a small, big chungus. Wow. I guess I'll never know. Unless Hudson comes, he'll explain it to me.
Hudson would explain it to you.
All the kids talk about it. Hudson tells me everything.
He does.
What the kids say.
He's very helpful like that. It's like that TV show, Hudson Explains It All. Right, there's some... I'm trying to pick exactly what it is. It's like if I'm already... No?
Oh, the kids talk about it.
It's all they talk about all the time.
Uh-oh. That doesn't seem right.
It's fun. It's like, yeah, it's like there's some...
Maybe that could just be a feature. It is a snail. Snails are sticky. It's just a really old... Oh, it's an old meme. How old? Does that mean like a month?
No, that means like 5 years, tops.
Well, I should know it then. I was like basically a kid 5 years ago. I was in my 20s 5 years ago.
Memes move fast,
Old
man.
enough that kids don't talk about it ever anymore.
Memes move fast.
Yeah, memes do move fast. I don't know if that's supposed to happen. Unless you're going for that. Because it's a snail.
No, that wasn't the plan.
But snails are sticky.
Semi-solids are surprisingly difficult. Sticky. Xiao Xiao. That was it. All right. Let's figure this out. We're gonna make things work. Why it do that? Good question. We're gonna figure that out, hopefully. How does our semi-solid work? Okay, so you enter a collision. Ba-ba. We check if you're moving up. We check where you collided with it. Okay, and the only way that this will not happen is if you encounter a semi-solid that is... or that wherein you are not moving up, and it is above you. Or no, you are above it. So somehow, right here, yeah. Okay. Gizmos? No. Draw. There's something. You can draw a point. Somehow. It's magic. In the Dabble engine, the equivalent is you can just do an on-after draw, and then just manually just draw whatever you want on the screen. It doesn't have to be tied to anything. Okay, on-draw gizmos is what we want to implement. This is a built-in function that will be called when we are drawing, and And so what we can do is we can say, here, I'm going to copy paste this one. Mickey Mania. Decent game, decent game. So I want to draw a sphere at the position of collision. I want to take my position plus new vector 3. This? Is that what I want? Or is no minus maybe? We're gonna try it. We're gonna see. So this should let me see something. I hope. Okay, show me the gizmos. Nope. Hang on. Oh. Call. What is call? Is collider. What? What do you mean? What do you mean it has not? What do you mean? Oh, it's because the collider. Oh, okay. This is gonna get a little bit expensive, but that's okay. I think it's because start is not called in this instance. There we go. Okay, look at that. Boom. That is what we wanted. Okay, so now in the editor, we will see this. Okay, so what this is showing me is that the location of this point in space is not where I was hoping it would be. Wait a second. Collider bounds in space. Because you see. Part of what keeps throwing me off is the values of these properties in local space versus global space. There's these transforms of position, and for instance, the plane represented by this apple art here is located at 0, 0, 0, but not the global 0, 0, 0. It's located at 0, 0, 0 within the apple. The apple itself is located at 5.6, 2.0. And then centered directly in the middle of that is where this plane lives. So, meanwhile, you have colliders, like this box collider, which has a size. But the size is not... Yeah, the size is not what we're looking for, because we have to add things to it. Wait, size is 1 by 1 by 1, and that's times the scale, right? Maybe not? I don't know. Transform position minus 1. Yeah, but the scale is 1. So how are we winding up here? Okay, let's try this. Let's actually change the player's scale a bit. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if I set it to 2, I would in fact want it to be at 2. And the size of this yellow is immaterial. The yellow is merely so we can see where it is, but it's not actually that big. It's a point. That's a really big point, not an actual radius to look at. Okay, so So this point, let's, yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and multiply this by transform.localscale.y. And it should be in the same place while y is 1. But as I change it, maybe not. Transform.position. Sorry? What? Huh. Okay. What? Transform.position. I should be drawing a sphere at... Okay, hang on. We need to do some things here. Let's try some things here. Draw a sphere at 0, 0, 0. Draw a red sphere at 0, 0, 0. Sorry, vector 3 dot 0. No? Oh, with a radius of 0.5f. And then in magenta, draw one at just my position. We're learning how gizmos work. I don't know what the coordinate system it uses at. Okay, red 0, 0, 0. Okay, so if I put in 0, 0, 0, that is in fact the world origin right there. So it's not 0, 0, 0 related to this. Transform looks good. Looks good. Why is this one not coming with me exactly? It's because... It is because... Let's break this one down. We're drawing it at our position, and then we're going down by... bounds... Wait. I kind of thought bounds would be... No, that's the world space bounding volume of the collider. Oh. Oh. So... guess that means that what I'm actually after is, yeah, that. There's our bounds. Okay, that's the point. That is the point we're actually interested in. Okay. Whew. All right, we've learned how that works. So now I know what this is. And then we're going up by 0.01f, and we're checking to see if that is greater or less than collision y. All right, so this is where we are colliding with the side of the semi-solid, right? So we collide with the side of a semi-solid. Let's bring out paint. The reds are not important anymore. Instead, we're gonna have this nice blue point of interest, which is 1f above the bottom. So like right in the middle here. That's that point right there marks the spot. Okay, so what is happening here is we are hitting the side, and this is a problem because reasons. Collision Y is the point where we're actually contacting, which is somewhere in here. We're not sure where. It's somewhere within this overlap area. to determine if we are above it, which right now I would say we are not above it. We take... Because like right here when we land, it's like, yes, that we should be solid there. When we come from below, it's like, no, we're definitely not above it. But there's some confusion when we hit from the side. I've got Photoshop CS2. Why do I need that? Okay, so we fixed this at least. And also, I'm noticing an issue with is moving up. Right now, I'm doing that globally on whether we're moving up, but what if the platform is actually coming down on us? So that needs to be modified to be like comparatively, are we moving up? Which actually we can do that pretty easily, I think. Well, we're not gonna. I'm getting off track. So we look at the point of our minimum Y bound. We add a little bit to it, and we say, hey, is that greater than where we collided? Is that above where we collided? Which on this, yes. When we collide like this, that point is above where we collided. And therefore, it should remain solid. But we want to pass through when we hit from the side while falling down. But it's saying no, it is not above. The point, this blue point is actually below where we collided. Whatever property these eggs have that are supposed, because that's also what prevents me from falling through the ground. So that's the weird case of this. So it's the solidity. The eggs are tied to follow me exactly, but they do not actually collide with anything. But we can use them as testing points of, is there a solid thing here? Whereas the player itself needs to occasionally not fall through things, like ground. Good question. All right, so what I'm gonna do is say, all right, if we hit a semi-solid while we are moving down, and for some reason it thinks that we are above, then please log this value and that value. Actually, in this case, just breakpoint. Yeah, let's attach a lot. I'm having to reinvent a lot of eggs. This is, weirdly enough, this is how the tutorials go. Is they're like, yep, you got to do all this stuff. It's like, do I though? All right, so here we go. We're gonna try and trigger there. Ah! Okay, so we have triggered the bug, which is we are heading down. We are moving down, right? Yeah, is moving up is false. Our collision Y, it's saying we collided at 1.90. And our bounds is at 1.83. Wait, okay. It's saying I'm above. Because... because that 1.83 plus 0.1 is 1.93, which is in fact above our collision Y. Alright, can this be fixed simply by reducing this further? Ooh, you know what? You know what we probably should do? Probably for is above. I think the trick there instead is to use a ground checker. Because then we're not checking the sides for collision, we're checking below us. I hope that will work. See, now I have to copy these 3 lines to be able to reference the ground checker. Gotta find this mystery cat. One of these days it's gonna come up. So instead of checking is above this way, we're gonna say is above is based on this. Let's see if that works. And we can drop this now, actually. We don't need the gizmos. It's gonna be a magical moment when it finally is revealed. Alright, so let's see. Okay. Basic semi-solid functionality is working. Side semi-solid, good. Alright, let's see if I can get... Okay, I was able to reproduce it that way. Dang it. So wait, am I... Are my eggs in there? Where are my eggs? Oh, that egg is in there. Why is that egg in there? That egg's not supposed to be on that side of the player. What about this egg? Where's this egg? Oh, this egg is also out. Oh, I think our eggs are in the wrong spot. We've got them all up in the wrong baskets. That's good, though. Because that means it's something we can fix pretty easily. Ah, yes. This should be minus the check radius, just like that. No, no, we shouldn't. I mustn't. I must resist. Man, less than 2 weeks until Dabble Party. That is pretty exciting. Dang it. Alright, where are my eggs? Show me those eggs. Okay, that one is good. Alright, egg, where... So this is lining up just barely with that, and I bet that counts. So let's bring it in by check radius times 2, even though that does open us up to like this tiny window where you're barely hanging on the edge, and in that case you can't jump. Like if you are within 0.01 game units of like hanging on a ledge by your toe, you will be unable to jump. Okay, this... I don't know what I was about to say there. No, that's definitely not. That's 48. 49. Yeah, it's not within range. Rip Coyote Time. Coyote Time would be coded completely separate, I think. You would instead do it the same way that Dabble Worlds does it, which is actually have a timer that checks how, well, yeah, there's still that issue. The code that checks whether or not you're on the ground should be the same, like whether you're blocked from going down, should be the same code that does all this mess. And that's really bizarre to me. It really is shedding a lot of light onto how all those weird bugs get into modern games, because apparently it's built on paper clips and rubber bands. Like, the things that I think code, like, Physics Engine should be doing, I don't know. It's built on lies. I mean, basically, it gives you the illusion that, oh, I understand how this works. It's like, no. You understand how it looks like it works. How it should work. But under the hood, it's all these weird edge cases and patchwork checks. And like, oh, make sure to run this a millisecond after this, because if you don't, then this completes early and terrible things happen. Yeah, I don't want to check. I don't want to think about semi-solid code. That doesn't seem like the kind of thing I should need to ever do. All right. Alright, if somehow it thinks I need to collide with this because I'm moving down and I'm somehow above, when I'm pretty sure I'm not above, then debug.log, I don't know, beep. I don't know exactly what we're going to do there. It's eggs all the way down. Yeah, Physics Engine is handling just landing on ground. The only thing that the semi-solid code is handling is the exception, which is I should not be blocked in these particular cases. The specific cases of I am moving up or I am not on top of. The clipping into the ground, that's apparently just the physics. I don't know. That's not any code I did. Like I cleared all that out and we still got that. Actually, look at it. Like, I'm no longer getting the issue of stuttering because I changed how that inertia code that I set up works, but there's still a little sink into the ground for one frame. Yeah, there's our beep. We're getting the beep. It does in fact think right now that I am above, which means that it thinks that I'm grounded. .01F radius. Huh. Alright, I gotta turn this debug point off momentarily so that I can actually move. And then I need to... Dang it. I can't maintain my velocity there. There. Okay. So, I've caught the moment where we are checking if we are grounded, because at this moment we are in semi-solid pass-through, and we have determined, like, hey, whoa. I've just collided with a box. The box is this semi-solid. It is a solid object. And I need to check, like, in this case, should I ignore that collision? And so I've determined, like, okay, I know that I'm moving downward, which that means maybe I need to treat it as solid, because if you land on top of a semi-solid, that's when you treat it as solid. So then I check, okay, am I on the ground? Are my little egg feet in a solid object right now? And apparently the answer is yes. 582 and 630. So transform positions. Which are below us, but within the horizontal bounds of where we are, I think. But when I run this check, it's gonna come back as true. Okay, what I need then is I need to break this is grounded check out a little bit. Somehow. I don't know how. Like, that's gotta be the right foot touching, right? Really, what I should do is let's do the gizmos again, right? On draw gizmos. This might actually help quite a bit. So we can actually see the position of our eggs. We're gonna look at our eggs here. Right, because it's not been... Okay, but maybe if I start it, then maybe I can see my eggs in the scene view. Yes, I can see my eggs now. There they are. The eggs. You know what? That is lined up with the side more than I thought it would be. Is that the same on the left? Yeah, both of those are kind of even with that, and I didn't expect that. So our position for the right is take transform X, which should put us... all right. You know what? Maybe that's exactly what we needed right there. All right. Here we go. This is the one. This is where the eggs... what? Ground checker, line 32. There should be no... Yeah, there's no more gizmos. What are you talking about? Stop it. Reload. Thank you. All right, here we go. Eggs. Dang it. No, I had it all. My eggs were perfect. Okay, double check the math on that. Go over to the far right side and then move the center of the egg over by 3 radii divided by 2. Oh, yeah. Actually, that would probably make this a little bit simpler. Is drop this parenthetical here and just say, all right, go halfway there, and then bring it back to the left by. All right. So you're right. Oof, big oof. All right, so it's saying, hey, you found this location. I need to move it by just 2 radii. 1.5 really is fine. Like that should be good. And then this one is negative divided by 2 plus radius times 1.5f. All right, we're drawing the gizmos again. We're bringing them back. Where the boys become men, the eggs become snails. All right. Here we go. We're gonna bring it in. Whoa. Sorry. All right, first off, let's take a look at our eggs here. Okay, eggs are very clearly within bounds now. Yeah. There's some wiggle room there. That's good. That's good. So those are our feet. Those are the points we're checking to determine if something is ground. But what is this? Oh, hold on. So, semi-solid pass-through. We are ignoring the collision until we exit. These aren't colliders, right? Yeah, these don't have colliders. These are just positions. I think what's happening is like it's reactivating that collider. No? I guess not. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna see exit, enter. Huh. Nope, we're still hitting it. And I'm not sure why. Huh. We are not grounded right now. Well, okay, hang on. There's a possibility that we kind of are. So, what I'm expecting is that initial check comes back and says, yep, we can ignore collision. That's what we're trying to, that it should be checking to see if you're on top. That is what this right here is checking. It's supposed to say like, hey, this semi-solid, is this, there's something there that I don't like that I'm just realizing, which is, this is checking, are you on any ground? But that's not the problem in this case. This is supposed to be like, okay, you're moving down. Maybe this needs to stay solid. In addition to moving down, are your feet overlapping the ground? So it's like, all right, you're coming down towards the semi-solid, Let's say you land like this. Boom, you just collided this frame. It's saying whoop whoop, collision enter. You are moving down. Are your feet touching ground? If so, that needs to stay solid. And that makes sense. If you land like this, boom, you just collided. We say, are you moving down? Yes. Are you on the ground? We expect for it to say no, but for some reason it's saying yes, I'm on the ground right now. That's what's really throwing me for a loop. The logic is, I feel, sound, but in execution, we're seeing some really weird stuff here. We're seeing it tell me that it is in fact on the ground. An X egg and a Y egg. Each egg contains a full vector 3 of X, Y, and Z, which is useful. All right, so here, boom, solid on collision exit, and then here I should see, if I clear this, I should see. What should I see? I should see ignore collision, then on collision exit, and then solid. Whoa, I saw a lot more than I thought I would see there. Whoa. Let's see that again. That's way more than I expected. So the first time that we, like right now, we're not exiting yet. Nope. Oh, I guess we are exiting? This isn't a semi-solid. I guess it doesn't care, does it? No, it doesn't care. Okay. Okay, cool. Well then, I guess what we will instead see is collision exit for the ground, ignore collision, collision exit, and then solid? I would expect to see 4 things then. We just got way more than that though. What? All right. Okay, this is not bad. This is good. This is information. Tell me the name of that collider. And also, I'm only interested in seeing this if it's the matching layer. Like this. Okay. Ignore collision with object.name or solid object.name. Actually, I guess either way, let me just put that there. All right, so this will tell me after each event what thing it's interacting with. Hopefully. All right, so let's examine what happens here. So, yeah, collision exit basic ground. collision exit, basic ground. That's good. All right, so clear. So let's see the full run through. Whew. Okay, we have collision exit with basic ground. We have ignore collision with semi-solid cube, then a collision exit, and then immediately after, we have another ignore collision with semi-solid cube and collision exit, and then another ignore collision, and then another ignore collision, and another ignore collision. We're seeing ignore collision a lot of times before finally seeing solid semi-solid cube. Man. Solid cube. Solid cube. Moving platform. Moving platform. Cube. Moving platform is nothing. Cube is, okay, yeah, cube is cube. Why isn't that what I expect? I saw ignore collision like multiple times. I was kind of expecting that. All right, so we start ignoring the collision when we get that first ignore collision. We don't turn it back on until we exit collision. I guess I'm not certain about what I was expecting. Exit collision to only fire when the entirety of the cubes were no longer in contact. Ignoring collision, you still not immediately. Is called when the rigid body has stopped touching another rigid body or collider. Okay. So it's supposed to be when the rigid body stops touching. Semi-solid pass-through lives on. Yeah, They're not touching because, well, I get what you mean. But the collision exit does in fact still get fired. Maybe it isn't. Hang on, maybe it's not. Actually, there should be an easy way to check here. Which is if I just grab this. Okay, hang on. Gravity's being gravity here. If I turn off the rigid, I can't turn off the rigid body, can I? Wait, I can turn off gravity. There we go. All right, so if I start dragging this up. Oh boy. Huh. Yeah, I think on collision exit is probably getting fired immediately. Which is weird. That it's good that we're getting more information. However, the whole point here is that wasn't the part that was supposed to be confusing us. This is, which is just why does it think we're on the ground when we line up? Is it because confused about all the parts? I'm trying to figure out why it thinks we just. All right. So, problem is that when we land on, when we're coming through a semi-solid right here. Oh, you know what? That's it. That is it, huh? Yeah, it's because we're passing through it. And so it's just that's the end. It's now in a solid. Because it's going to fire over and over every physics update frame. Dang. How do we get around that then? Because that means... okay. Possible ways I can think of to get around it. Make all semi-solids very, very thin. Only test the top of the ground. That's the trick. It's like, how do we do that? Can I ask the collider, or can I ask the collision here to tell me yeah. Can I ask this to tell me what what face? Let's see. Because if that's the case, checking what face an object collided with. Come on, give me an answer. No, not the index of the triangle. You can do it with the surface normal. Okay, how do I get the surface normal? Tell me how to find the surface. Collision contacts normal. Okay, here we go. Contacts. Just grab the first one. That's fine. Normal. Okay. Okay. Is this a vector 3, I assume? Yes, it is a vector 3. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's just do this. Okay. Okay, 010. So it's pointing the direction of the ground, and then this should be, I'm expecting to see a debug line of -1, 0, 0. Got it. All right, we're gonna check the normal. For those that don't know what that actually means, it's the 2D equivalent is the perpendicular. So for instance, if I've got a line here, maybe it's still called the normal when you're dealing with 2 dimensions. This collision here intersects at this point, and this is roughly the normal of this intersection. It is the ray that fires out from that point such that you get roughly a 90-degree angle against even a curved surface. Yeah, it's the halfway angle. It's the point where you get 90 degrees on either side of it. On a cube, that's pretty easy because it's just straight. But you know, if you had like a rotated surface or something, then the normal angle would be, you know, something like that. So there's the normal. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna detect the normal and see if it is upwards-ish. I don't know how to... I mean, if we assume that all semi-solids are flat on top, which, I mean, for this game, I think we can get away with that. Normal. So instead of checking if we are above this, all we have to do... I don't even think we need to check if we're moving up. I think all we need to do is check If the normal equals up. I think that might be enough right there. So let's get rid of this. Let's also get rid of this because this is getting annoying because it keeps not knowing what these are until runtime. There's probably a way to make it check if you're actually running the game. All right, let's see if we get semi-solid logic right there. By just saying like, hey, did you collide with an upward normal? Well, that didn't work, huh? Oh, right. Well, we've successfully made a semi-solid. We just got something a little bit backwards is all. All right, I feel good about that because now we don't need the is grounded check. All we got to do is check like, hey, did we touch the top? Now again, this only is working because we're going to design things in a certain way. This would not work if, for instance, a semi-solid had like a curve to it or was slightly angled. All right, here's the big test. Let me see that one again. Let me see that one again. Huh. Boy, we had that. It catches you. Not great. Oh, yeah. I mean, everything, like, that is it checking the top of the bottom face? No, because the bottom face is one-sided. Like, all 6 faces of this rectangular prism thing, whatever you want to call it, all of those are one-sided. They do not actually have interior faces at all. Which, that's a very weird thing to think about. I wonder how precise you've got to be on that to get that to trigger. I mean, on one hand, I'm like, well, you know, maybe it would be nice to have that little bit of like, oop, you got it. It just seems pretty extreme. When I'm just jumping up like this. Ooh, yeah, it kind of does look like that, doesn't it? Is that bug back? Yep. Cool. Okay. What I would like... Oh, you know what it might be is... This probably needs to be fixed update, for one thing. But also... What are we storing old position for? Velocity times time delta time. Do we need this? Is this right? Oh yeah, because I'm like rolling back the collision. That's right. So maybe instead of old velocity, this needs to be new velocity? New velocity plus gravity. No. Still doing some weird stuff there. Okay, so this right here. I would like it to be that if we say, hey, we're going to ignore the collision, instead of lasting until the very next frame, I would like to instead wait until we are no longer in contact with that thing. The problem is that is difficult. It is difficult to determine if we are in contact with that. How would we do that? So I think what we would want, if it was only ever going to be one semi-solid at a time, we could do this a little bit simplified, but I'd like to come up with some code that we can use down the road. So let's try this. Use the normal, I don't know. We're gonna say we have some objects here, some colliders. Currently ignored solids. Okay. So when we ignore it, we're gonna start ignoring it, and then we're gonna do an update that says, hey, it's time to check if we're overlapping these colliders. And I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Okay, hang on. Unity test collision. Check for collision. Here we go. Check for collision. On collision into... On collision stay? What's on collision stay? Maybe this is what we need. Let's see. Called once per frame for every collider that touches another collider or... Oh, okay. So on collision enter is called the first time. And then subsequently on collision stay is called, but it's not going to be because we're ignoring that collision. So that's not going to help. Let's see here. Rigid body. I don't want that. Dang it. So the reason I can't just use on collision to monitor like if we're still colliding is because we're turning off the collider. And so we can no longer do that. So what I'm thinking right here is, can I turn the collider back on temporarily, check to see, is the mystery category dupsters? Wouldn't that be something? I want to temporarily start paying attention to colliders again. Is colliding? No. the game script. Sure. Oh! No, dang it. I almost had, I think we thought about this last time too. It's like I want the semi-solid to switch to acting like a trigger, which is still being something I can collide against, but not being solid. But I only want to do it for this one pair. I want this rigid body to be able to pass through this other rigid body, but I don't want that to apply to everyone. For instance, let's say there was an object that was standing on top of the semi-solid. When I jump through it, I don't want everything else to fall through it. That is a really peculiar use case, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, this guy gets it. This guy's asking a reasonable question about, yes, I want to check if something's colliding, like speculatively. I want to check if they work, if these two things could collide with each other, would they currently be colliding? Physics.check box. Well, that's no. Dang. Okay, hang on. Rigid body sweep test. What is that? What does this do? You give it a direction. Oh. No, I don't think that's what I want. They don't let you do nothing in this game. I'm telling you, it's a physics engine, but it's a very specific physics engine. See, okay, so NES games had it easy because they could get away with just the only thing that interacts with semi-solids is the player. And that lets you do things like, say, all right, turn off the hitboxes for all of these whenever the player is below them. Dang it. Man, Mario gets away with it. Mario can have working semi-solids. This feels like such a minor thing, you know? Alright, well. It's okay. It's like, it's working pretty decently. It doesn't... The only thing is, I know exactly what I want. And I know logically how to arrive at that point, but the engine does not really support the calls I want to make. It's a black box. I can only access certain levers and buttons. And the button I want to press does not exist. So like as it stands, this is like workable. It's like, all right, that's fine. Yeah, it clips me up occasionally, but like that's in the player's favor. So I'm not as worried about it, honestly. All right, whatever. Let's actually do anything else. We improved ground checks, right? That's something. So now let's do that with snails. Let's improve our snail code with the ground patrol. All right. So ground patrol is now going to have a ground checker. And ground checker is going to get a new function. Snail eggs. Gross. Left side grounded, right side grounded. Incredible. And then this function can be simplified to, hey, is left side grounded or is right side grounded? Ground patrol no longer needs to do this mess. Instead, we can do so is grounded can be ground checker dot is grounded. That one's easy. Actually, you know what we can do? Is left grounded. Let's do this. Oh, look at us. We're actually programming for a little bit here. Ground control. It's a major time. All right, do that. And then we want to check, like, we're going to have a var needs to turn around equals if direction equals 1, if we're going to the right and we're not grounded to the right, then we need to turn around. Or the opposite direction, if we are moving to the left and the left is not grounded, we need to turn around. There we go. Replace all that code with just needs to turn around. All right, that's much cleaner, I think. And that should work like immediately, I think. Let's throw a snail on there and find out, huh? Prefabs, base enemy. Plop a snail and pop a proper snail. Problem right there. Snail her up. Nope. Apparently it can't check the right. It bounced left. So direction was right. And I don't think right was grounded. Very suspicious. Let's check this. No? Yeah, that should be hitting a solid right there. Direction. I guess let's do this and attach it. Figure out what we got going on here. All right, so right there, we immediately hit, yes, it's time to turn around. You better believe it is. And then, stop. Right there. What's going on? What's going on here? What's going on right here? Oh. What? It's saying left is not grounded. Oh. I know why. And it's really dumb. It's because this snail is mirrored. So is left grounded is actually more of is front grounded. Actually, that's kind of nice though. That's kind of nice though. Yeah, if our back is grounded, then we can turn around. If our front is not grounded. Yeah, that actually makes it even simpler. Yeah, so his left and right get mixed up. Oh man, that is one of those things that I just wouldn't consider with all these like weird things we're doing. There it is. All right, he's shuffling. Now, how do we make a full-on level editor out of this? That's the question. In engine. All right, moving platforms. There's something about moving platforms that everyone's gonna hate. And it's just kind of a fact of how Unity works. And everyone says, yep, this is how you have to do moving platforms. Enjoy. You hate it already, good. Okay, so we're gonna need a script. And this does not have to apply to moving platforms. This is just anything that's going to move between multiple points. So we're gonna call this path mover. Well, it doesn't really move the path. Path movement. Waypoint movement. Is our waypoint movement that we are going to apply to our platform. All right, waypoint movement is going to have a serialized field consisting of a series of transforms. Is it the transform object I want? What is, I guess it's the position. Can I get away with just a transform? Can I have just a transform? I don't know. We'll see. It's a list of transforms. Let's start with that. All right, moving platform. I'm gonna put waypoint mover on it. Oh right, I have to edit it as a prefab. Okay, it adds it twice. It's really bugging me. Transforms. Okay. All right. So for this, we can start just adding a transform to it, which I think we can get away with just. Can we add? Can we add this as the transform? Yes. Cool. So waypoint 1, we're gonna position it over here somewhere. Blue, I don't know, this, whatever. How do I see these? How do I see the icons? I don't remember. It's alright, whatever. The point is that that's where it exists. We'll set it right there. And then waypoint 2. We'll put it over here. Perfect. Also, we need to serialize a float for speed. So let's make that 1, I suppose, to start with while we figure out how this is going to work. 1. Yeah, default 1. All right. So the idea is that we're going to move our platform towards whatever the next waypoint is until we are within a certain radius of it, and then we're going to start moving to the next waypoint until we run out of waypoints, and then switch back to number 1 again. Equals 0. So we're going to say just move towards transform dot position dot move towards. What does move towards take? Oh. Wait. It's not a method. What? Can I call it from this? Maybe? Yes. Okay. Maybe. Can I get an example here? Just show me some example code here, please. Okay, you would do something like vector3.move towards, okay. Then you would give the position that you're in currently, you would give the target position, and then the speed. Well, speed. Had to be a strawberry jam map. Target position equals. Okay, let's rename this to waypoints. Waypoints sub waypoint index dot position. Yes. Target position, and this is speed times time dot delta time. Big surprise. Yeah, seriously, I'm looking at that like, what? Yep. So transform position gets this. And then if let's just say remaining distance. Perfect. If remaining distance is less than, oh yeah, less than speed. Perfect. Less than speed, then waypoint index plus plus, and if waypoint index, oh yes. Yep, cool. Let's say greater than or equal to, just in case. All right, and that should do that. I think that's maybe it. That could be it. We'll see. All right. Yeah, let's see if that does it. Oh, look, there it is. Now we can see these. These are our waypoints here. We can actually see them now. All right, let's see if it moves. No. Not at all. Because index was outside the bounds of the array, apparently. Huh. Huh. Ah, that's what it is. I know that one. Well, it's a good thing that the collab maps are weighted significantly less. Yeah, yeah. It's like, wait, actually, I know exactly which one that is, huh? Huh, we are not incrementing it at all. What are our waypoints then? Oh, is it because I changed the name of that? It is, in fact, because I changed the name of that. Okay, cool. There we go. All right, let's try it now. Dang it, it's still not going anywhere. What? But, oh, found a bug. Greater than or equal to waypoint.link. So waypoint.links is 2. So if we hit 1, it's got to be actually greater than. Yeah, or just this. Okay, that's our problem. It kept getting stuck on the first waypoint because it would increment to 1 and then immediately say, oh, time to go back to 0 now. All right, here we go. Here we go. This is it. This is the one. Hey, wait. Hey! Moving too much. Why is it moving too much? Let's see here. So we move towards our position. Remaining distance is a float. Oh, speed. No, that's not what we want. I think. Well, is it though? Sure, let's just do that. 1 in game units is too much. I'm pretty sure. 0. And there it goes. So it just never makes it close enough to... So waypoint index is changed to 1 at this point. And then on the next loop, we're checking waypoint number 1 position. Let's see how much distance we have. Let's check this. Moving. So this is like 4 or 5 away, I think. Yeah. Oh, it is just perpetually on 4.98 for some reason. What? Wait, I must be throwing in the wrong things here, right? Maybe not. Maybe not. What? Okay, let's do it like this. All right, we're just gonna add some debug lines here. I just want to know what in the world's going on. All right. Oh. Okay, this is gonna be dumb. You ready? You ready for this? You ready to see how dumb this is? There's something about this moving platform. I'm gonna switch to scene mode. Godspeed, moving platform. So, the waypoints are also moving because I am moving the moving platform. It seemed too dumb. What are the chances? No, that is in fact what is happening. All right, hold on. So, yeah, it's because it's a child object. So there's a few things we could do. Seem too dumb. Little did you realize. So one thing we could do is just not have the waypoints be a child object of the platform. Maybe? Well, no, that's not a good way to do it, because we may run into points at things at some point where we want the what am I trying to say? Where we want this left to right moving platform to also be part of an up and down moving script, so it like is going side to side while also going up or something, and in which case moving the waypoints out of that child status to be just their own little thing would just break a lot of stuff. I assume. Maybe not. Maybe that's not a concern at all. Actually, one way to get around that would be just say waypoint dot transform dot parent equals transform dot parent, so they have the same parent. They need their daddy. All right, let's see if this works. So it should move these waypoints out of that hierarchy, I hope. Look at that. All right. Okay, are you ready for something that's even dumber? This is, again, something that I feel like should be built into the engine. And the way that Unity suggests doing it feels so wrong. Like, this is something I feel like the physics engine should handle for me, but it doesn't. Here we go. We have to handle that. That's on us to do. Like, that feels like the physics engine should handle that. It really, really does. Like, how is local momentum, like local velocity, not a thing that's built in? Okay, I can get rid of this. Because it means that when we... So what it means, and we're gonna jump into this here. It's gonna jump into this prefab here. It means that we have to add a collider, a trigger, to the top of it. Riding trigger. Okay. Not that. Why is this negative 0.5 scale? Alright, so we're gonna make it VV small. Yeah, so it's just resting on the top of it. We do not want it to have the material. Whoops. I don't want it to have a material. Oh, okay, no renderer. It is gonna have a trigger. It is not gonna be on a layer. And when something interacts with it, we're just gonna move it around with us, which I'm very about. It feels so wrong. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can find some pre-made code here that's gonna manage this for me. Because I've seen plenty of examples. Yeah, actually this is the one here. Let's see. Yeah, this is a mess. All right, so this guy right here, this guy has got some code. Oh, right. Oh, I hate this. Okay. So here's what Unity... Here's what I've seen on at least 2, maybe 3 tutorials already, and I do not like it. So what it is that when we land on the platform, what it's gonna do is take our player and change it so that the player becomes a child object of the moving platform, and therefore inherits its, well, while it's in that trigger, it is a child of that, and then as soon as we jump out, we are no longer on that space, and we're back to normal. At least we're trying to imitate a game with clunky movement. This is true. Okay, so we need a script. Rideable platform. So you would want to attach this to anything. Ooh, actually, you know what? I don't want riding trigger to be built in. Yeah, open the prefab. I want this script to create that. That is very important to me. So we are going to assume that the thing we are dealing with has a transform. Oh man, I feel like I shot myself in the foot by making it like this. Moving platform. I feel like moving platform should not be. Can I move the children out from under this? Can I make this the parent? Probably not. Maybe if I delete this? Nope. Okay. Okay, so all I gotta do... Oh, man. Can I rename this moving platform and then make that a prefab? Yes. Okay. And then can I just like drag this in here? Okay, this is much easier. Ooh. Ew. Alright, hold on. Let's no, that looks fine. Yeah, that's great right there. Okay, there we go. We're good, we're good. Oh, it's because this is... alright, fine. Okay, that's fine. There we go, and there's that. Cool. Okay, so moving platform is going to have a box collider built into it. And there's a scale to it, so we gotta watch out for that. And then it's going to have the writable platform script. And the writable platform script is going to be put onto this moving platform object, which is assumed to have a box collider. So we are going to say require type of box collider. Okay. I mean, I guess we actually don't need this. We're gonna say trigger. Let's see, box collider BC, and then our trigger equals new box collider trigger dot is trigger. Trigger dot transform dot parent equals transform. Yes. Trigger dot transform dot local position is, yeah, well, I guess we don't need to worry about that. I mean, let's just try that as it stands right now and see what we get on this trigger object. And size should just match that. I guess maybe we don't need this at all. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, ooh. How do we trigger dot on? Ooh, no. How do we do on trigger enter of a trigger that is? Huh. Unity create trigger from script. Yeah, how do I do the collider on, like, okay, hang on, let me think. On trigger enter. How does that actually work on this? This object here, collect items, is on the player. which means automatically it fires when... Oh, okay. How do I deal with multiple colliders on an object? How do I... How do I activate the on-trigger enter and know which one's which? They have to be different types. Oh, they have to be different types. Sphere and box is fine. Box and box is not. Why? Huh. Really? So I can't add a trigger to that. That should be fine, maybe? Multiple triggers on one object. Here we go. Maybe that's what I need. If the colliders don't themselves overlap, you could check based on what trigger event occurs. Okay, huh. Okay. So... Add trigger programmatically. Game object.add component. Okay, that's what I'm looking for, I think. Is this a type of... And does that return the component? I think it does. Oh, but it's not gonna know for sure what that is, Okay, maybe I can cast that. Okay. That seems like it's okay, and then we can just throw our on trigger enter here. Honestly, I would be satisfied with just seeing that we entered the trigger. I guess we don't really need this then. Okay. We're gonna see what happens. The hope is that... Oh, this is not moving. This is not moving anymore. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Hey, we do have that new box collider. That's really good. And now, hopefully, when I land on the platform, I'm going to get a beep. Beep! Yay! Okay, why isn't it moving now? That's probably because I broke it. Because that's just what we do. Anytime we change something. Yeah, it's because I took off the script of the waypoint follower. So it just no longer exists. So we just gotta re-add those. Done and done. Oh, all good. Yeah, you gotta get ready. You never know what time of night the plumber will appear. Okay. The trigger fired. So hopefully, I guess we just, this is where we just set, okay. So we only want to move things that are affected by gravity. Dirty, dirty boy. So we're gonna look for a rigid body, and if it exists, then cool, other dot parent, another dot transform dot parent equals transform. And then on trigger exit, ooh, I only want to do this. Ooh, I don't want to lose what the parent is, so I may need to maintain a list of riders in the form of a key value pair of game object to game object. Wait, no, a new list of key value pairs. Ugh. Riders. Okay, so when we do this, riders.add new key value pair of type other and other dot transform dot parent. Oh wait, oh that's actually transform dot parent is a transform. So this is probably unnecessary details here that I'm trying to store. Other is other dot game object. Okay. On trigger exit, when something exits, we're gonna check to see if it's a rider by saying find the rider such that a dot key equals other dot game object, and if rider details is not null, then hey, that is something that is riding. Oh wait, does find not return? What is this? I thought find would possibly be null. We just always assume it can't be null. Okay, well, how about we just throw it in and try catch? Yeah, enum, that's what I wanted to catch. Okay, never mind. Ignore the try catch. Let's just hope this works. So in that case, what we're gonna do is var rider equals rider details dot key. I guess if rider does not equal null. See, I feel like rider details could be null, but maybe not. Rider dot transform dot parent equals its original parent, which is rider details dot value. Yeah, I hope that works. This is probably me being like too cautious. Oh, whoops. I have a missing thingamabopper. Parentheses. Okay. Go. Try it. Oh. Okay. Okay. Look at that. Okay. There is something about this, however, that I would like to see improved a bit. Specifically, let's speed up this moving platform just for a start. When I leave the moving platform, let's go ahead and make a slight adjustment. We're gonna grab the rigid body. Velocity plus equals our velocity. We don't have velocity, do we? Ooh. Ooh. Huh. Oh. Well, that's weird to think about, but yeah. Technically... Yeah. Technically, we don't have a speed. Do we? We do have a box collider, but... we're never actually moving by a speed. I was hoping to add the momentum when I jump, but this thing is really just teleporting every frame. It's not actually moving by a velocity. It doesn't have a physics object that's doing movement, really. That's weird to think about. Okay, maybe we can still manage that. With kind of a kind of a little hee-hee estimated velocity. This will allow it to work on things like this that are basically teleporting. Oh, right. That was dumb. So what we'll do in fixed update previous position equals transform.position. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to say that estimated velocity equals transform.position minus previous position times time.delta time. And then update this. Let's try this. Let's try this. And this way, whether it's a rigid body or not, this is really not a great way to do things. I'm thinking of situations in which this would not work. And for a 2D game, this is fine, but imagine, if you will, like a giant carousel, or at least just a spinning plate. In that case, the velocity effectively is going to be 0. But what if I was, standing on the edge of it and then I jump? I would expect to get more velocity than, yeah, 3D movement is probably a nightmare. Well, it's one of those things where I feel like the physics engine should handle this, and like if you're doing it the right way, it should just work. But, yeah. Alright, so our platform's going to be moving 3 times as fast as normal so that I can actually test... Oh. Waypoint movement was wrong. Because we were saying if remaining distance is less than speed, which is not good, because that's never actually going to be the case. We'll say 0.1f. That's fine. Yeah, so our platform wasn't moving all the way previously. Okay. Let's see what happens when I jump straight up. Nothing. Oh, you know why? It's because we're not actually doing player acceleration. We're doing static, you know. Yeah, it's like if you tap left, you are now moving at full speed left. If you tap right, you are now moving full speed right. There is no acceleration. There is no velocity. It's just well, there is velocity, but we're just setting it. We're not modifying the velocity. We're just setting it. And if I change that, then I'm gonna get that same issue as last time. I think what I would like to do is spin up just a blank test project with just the barest bones jump and move. And I want to see if I still get that issue where the player like sinks into the ground just a little bit. Hello, Short. Just about to wrap up. As you can see, everything is coming along great. We have platforms, we have a player, we have a snail moving around. We have semi-solids that work a little bit better than last time. I can't jump on the enemies because you can't do that in Adventure Island. And if we want a true Adventure Island experience, which do we? Then this is what we need to do. There we go. Incredible. Short raid. Yeah, I want it to maintain velocity, but yeah, that's our issue right now is I took out the old velocity code because it was causing us to get stuck in the ground. So let's add that to my list of things to try out. To do. Try to reproduce getting stuck in ground with a new project. Would like to preserve platform momentum, but can't without sticky ground issue. There we go. Brilliant. Okay, moving platforms. They work. Wow. I don't know what we're gonna do with all this mess. Like, I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna do like actual... Alright, Adventure Island did not have much going for it. Just copy the first level. Brilliant. Part of me is getting that glimmer of ideas about like, what if we did procedural levels so that I don't have to build any levels? Infinite Adventure Island. Adventure Archipelago. Yeah, we'll see how that's gonna go down. That line, I do not like this line on the art. It has been 0 days. That's a bingo. Ah ha 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 ha. Oh, you guys. You'll see. You'll all see. It's a physics engine, I tell you. What else was on my soapbox list tonight? Actually, riding on I specifically had riding on moving platforms as like a this bugs me. Tutorial solution says make the sprite a child object to the platform, but no, ideally we should inherit momentum regardless of if we jump off, walk off, or whatever. And this is something that the physics engine should manage. This is not something we should have to do manually. Actually, maybe it's because... I wonder... There's a package for that. I mean, of course there is. Okay. So... What if this slippery, low friction material has all the friction? Nope. Nope, that's not it. Now I can't move at all. I thought it would take me with... Oh, the platform is not... Yeah, I forgot. The platform is not actually moving. It's just teleporting incrementally. Which that's probably part of the problem. I would be very interested to see if that would fix it, though. Like, what if? See, but if you add friction so that you actually, like, stick to platforms, how do you move against that friction? I assume the idea is just a sufficient force. Or something. Alright. Let's go to bed. Oh no, of course not. Tempting. We got moving platforms working properly pretty quickly. What else? We got riding on platforms working properly. Semi-solids are working much better. Not perfectly, as we've seen, but much better. Grounding checks are much cleaner now. Let me tell you about landfills. Let me tell you guys all about landfills. Daddy knows a lot about landfills. Now that we have, like, death as a thing, we could do something like adding a... We still don't have a player sprite figured out. I don't know what that's going to look like. I mean, we could just rip Master Higgins off of Adventure Island. But anyway, we still need to do a little, like, death animation. You know, the typical NES, like, turn to face the camera, and then fall off screen. Master Higgins. Brilliant. Every morning, it's like clockwork. So maybe what we could do is do death animation, you know, make an actual sprite, and then do like a food meter, because then with that we can learn a little bit of UI. That's about it. I don't know. So that's something there. Background would be nice. Okay, here's something to put on the list is those edges, those transparency edges. Let's add that to the list of something we want to figure out what in the world is going on, because I do not like looking at this little line on the edge of the banana. I don't know why it's doing that. Like, I'm just befuddled. Because it's even doing it on this one. The platform art has no neighboring art. Like that's it. That's the entire image. It's just this. Do I have to trim the edges on everything? Like, do I have to leave extra blank space in the margins on every art file? Maybe. All right. Good night. Thank you for hanging out. I'll be back on Wednesday. Maybe more of this. We'll see. Have a good night. Good luck with the plumber, Al.